Everybody, hope you're doing okay. Welcome to Battersea Park. I've come here for the Tracksmith Twilight 5000, a track race. There's quite a few seeded races. I think it'll be the biggest ever track race field I've been in. I think there's about 30 odd people in my race. I think everyone's down for about an 18-minute season's best. So see what I do. I've been a bit sort of slacking off recently. I've had this ankle Achilles problem, so this race could either go okay because I've been rested, or it could be rather terribly. I think they're actually going to wear both flights because I've heard that they're not going to be checking shoes. I think it'll be safer on the legs. Matt suggested that would be a good idea as well. So you can see the runners going on at the moment, and there's no obviously concern about using track spikes. I think normally I'd probably say they were faster, but tonight just need to see if I can get around this in one piece. Okay, so here we go. I actually had two sections of starters in this one. I'm on the inside there, and this has actually turned out to be a race that was a lot faster than I thought. I thought everyone was going to have a PB season's best of 18 minutes, and it turned out that was kind of the minimum time. A couple of guys there sort of saying hello to the camera on the waves. Quite funny, I think they're cameramen. So the first lap for me was an 89, so it was a good sort of start. That's just a 6-minute mile pace, so that would be exactly on about an 18:30, 18:40 schedule. And then already you can see though that I was struggling. I think I was right at the very back. I thought there was someone behind me, but as it turned out there wasn't. I think the last time that happened it was in a BMC race when I was doing about 15 minutes, and here I am right at the very back. And I was sort of trying to sort of keep it sort of contained, but it was actually proving quite difficult. And then here we go, another 90-second lap. So it was not doing too badly, but you already see that I'm way behind the leaders here. And it's all really quite strung out. So it's a bit slightly annoying because it was such a large field that had a really big vacuum of air resistance. A bit like felt like more like in a bike race than a running race. So I was just a bit trying to sort of hang on to the back, and I thought I was just about sort of closing the gap. It felt like a bit like a Zwift racing a bit, when you felt like you had to go off faster than you wanted to, but if you did, you might be able to sort of cling on. And then another lap here, I think that was my very fastest, 88. And you can see here that it's starting to become detached. This guy at the back here, Phil Wood, it turns out that me and Phil Wood were the two oldest in the race, and I was the very oldest in the race as a 55. So the first mile there at 5:58, or the metric mile, and that was sort of fine. But the problem was, I think now that I was thinking that I'm starting to sort of feel like, can I really hang on to this? And you can see already that me and Phil have become detached. So I thought, well, the best thing to do, at least I've got someone to run with, and maybe I'll sort of catch up with a few of these other guys. But it didn't really turn out to be the case, because I think already here on the fifth lap, it went out to a 92.6. So I've already started to very slightly slow, which is always a bad sign in a 5,000 track race, because you know that it's really struggling. Another 92 here. I was hanging on to Phil for dear life. I was wearing my mango vaporflies that I wore in Seville, and as I said in the later on, I thought they were quite nice in terms of like giving me a bit more sort of protection, because I've had this sort of Achilles ankle problem, which I went to physio today, and it turned out to be a perennial tendon problem. So you can see the rest of the field here. It's quite like a nice pace line. So just annoying, I'm just a bit off fitness at the moment. I've had 2 weeks where I really had been struggling to run. I've had about 4 or 5 days off in a row. And I've been running about the last 4 days, but then, yeah, I think just a bit off the boil. And you can see here that really me and Phil now are all tailed off. But I didn't really feel like I was like blown up. I went through 2 miles there in 12:13, so it wasn't too bad. And I think in my 3,000 split was 11:25, which is only just down on the 11:16 I actually did in the 3,000 race a couple of weeks ago. Now, they had quite a few pacemakers in this race. There was about 5 of them. They all lined up at the start. I think the fastest was David Williams from South London, a very good runner. I think he was doing about 85, so I think he went to about 3,000. There was another pacemaker that sort of like spread out at sort of intervals along the way, and I think the slowest one was doing 89. So unfortunately, that was proved a bit too fast for me. I think I kept up for about a mile, but that was about it. So here we come through 3,600 in 96.5. You see I've now taken the lead from Phil, and this is the rest of the field now, almost a minute ahead of me actually now. So you can see it was a bit annoying that to be so tailed off. I was hoping that I was going to finally get into a good race. At least I had Phil to run with, to be fair. So sometimes you just need one other person to push you along. I don't think really, to be honest, I would have run much faster in this race. I think just my problems with my leg and a bit of detraining really was just meant that I wasn't really firing all cylinders. And here was a 97 lap. But I thought I'd give it a go, because you never quite know. And I actually did feel a bit more rested. Just didn't feel like I was running properly, but in hindsight perhaps I shouldn't have run. But sometimes you think, oh, I've got to give it a go as a runner, haven't you, sometimes. So 2 laps to go, I think, for the leading runners here, and you can see that everyone's having a good race. An amazing amount of PBs. When I entered these onto Power of 10 and Run Britain rankings, I think almost the entire field did PBs. Quite a new wave of runners, I think, as well. It's, having done so many vets races of late, it's quite nice to actually run with some younger people, to see that there are some people around doing all these good races. Okay, this is with 600 meters to go for me, and this is like the end of the race for the leaders. You can see that guy there. I don't think he actually won, actually. I think the guy in all black won it in the end, so he must have had a really strong home straight. And I think there's about that group there, those 4 or 5 actually overtook me. So the last lap I actually rallied a bit. I think I got to an 89. I was thinking that I needed to just push on and see if I can keep clear of Phil. And you can see all the runners coming in here. Quite a good spread of runners, actually. The person who came 29th was 18:31, which interestingly my season's best this year is 18:33. So even if I'd done that, I still wouldn't have actually improved my position. So literally we were 50 seconds off the end of the race, but at least I didn't get lapped by too many people. And the guy in red there just got 1 place ahead, I think. So here comes me and Phil with about 200 to go, and you'll see me with about 150 to go. I see I've got a little gap now. I just need to hang it down the home straight. Okay, race done. Yeah, just didn't quite have it tonight. I thought it was worth giving it a go, but I was quite on pace for about the first 3,000. It wasn't that much slower than over 3,000. I was in the 3,000 race the other day, but the pace was a bit quicker than I thought, actually. I thought there'd be more people running sort of high 18s, latch onto. Me and another guy, I think the 2 oldest people in the race, basically seemed to have a race for the wooden spoon. I just got him, so I wasn't actually last in the race, which is something, I suppose. But yeah, I was going on about 90, 91s for a good hot while, and then it just sort of drifted off. Interesting that the vaporizers, I thought like round the bends, as I was getting tired, I actually felt more, not hard work, but it didn't feel as helping as say spikes would have done. But at least the legs felt alright. Didn't feel sort of like any pain in that, so at least I can get through the race and not hobble off. But yeah, maybe just a bit stale now. So I've entered a 1500 in a couple of weeks' time, but whether I do that or not sure. I think I need to sort of maybe have a bit of a rest and get back into some sort of solid training and reassess what goals I want to do, which marathon I want to do, if any. I've got a good fresh pace for London, so that might be an option. I don't think I'll do Seville this year because I've done that twice now, and I don't think I've got any more to prove there. Anyway, hope you found this interesting. Like, subscribe with that, and see you next one then. Bye. Oh, and Sue's not around today. She wasn't feeling well, so I excused her. Probably as well, because I didn't run very well. But sometimes if she turns up, she does acts as my talisman. Joseph there, this is the guy that featured in the Vaporfly 3 video from Chris. The guy's called Chris, Acuso Running, but we were the star models. Mine shoes are right and yours went. Anyway, we're talking about training, and I've done my race. It was alright, but I just felt like I've gone off the boil a bit. And we were saying that perhaps training for a marathon at our age is actually better for 5k than training for 5k.
I think it can help you. You know, if you train for a marathon, you get you the strength.
Yeah.
Then you go into track season or whatever, you've got that strength, build the speeds. It's what Matt's doing, and then that helps you for the marathon.
So if I'm with 5k, like if you come off marathon training, 5k for me is like a bit of a merciful release because it gives you a chance to actually have a blowout. Having said that, I was terrible I actually ran slower in that December race than I did tonight. So I suppose when you're in the middle of marathon training, you're not really haven't yet seen the benefits. Sometimes you can actually get worse, can't you? But yeah.
The other thing is, you know, you can just get a bit stale sometimes, you know.
I think I have. I've had this niggle which has played on my mind. So I did a lap around the course, and I was just wearing my pegs, and it wasn't hurting. Every step I could sort of feel a bit of like bursitis there.
Yeah.
So I thought I'd do this race. I don't really like entering races not turning up, especially ones like this when they've got like waiting lists and stuff, haven't they? And yeah, sometimes you never know. I think you never know, perhaps on a shorter race, because I find I can push myself mentally harder in a shorter race, because in a 5k you just get found out by the fitness at the end of the day, don't you? But, yeah.
Well, I'm up in a couple of races.
What race are you on?
Number 7, so I think the one after this.
So you'll be in the 16:30 race, will you?
Yeah, something. I'm gonna go for a 16:20 something. Let's see how.
I think it's a great night if you're up for it, because I found with so many runners that once you've actually found something to run, it's like being in a mass road race, because I can wall of people in front of you.
So many runners, and there's like 40 each.
Yeah, I mean the first couple of laps went quite easy because it's such a drafting effect. I didn't really feel the wind down the down the which way? So the wind sort of into your face slightly on the home straight, not very much like that. Yeah.
It's just the psychological effect of having all those runners around you, just to be pulled along by them. So it helps.
What
Right.
shoes you wearing tonight?
Dragonflies.
Yeah.
I'm going to get out of these. And...
What's interesting about my shoes, because I think actually, although I think if being fitter, there wouldn't have been much in it, but in a way, when you got tired, having vaporizers on, it actually felt harder because going around the bends, you felt like I had more shoe on. Although you didn't feel, I didn't feel like the slappy nature that you do when you get tired.
I agree with that. On the track, I prefer spikes. You know?
Yeah, it's just
Dragonflies in particular.
slightly softer as well on the track. So
yeah,
when I'm doing strides, I feel like I was bouncing off the track nicely. When I got tired, I felt like I was just carrying. I mean, it's all relative. I mean, you know,
it is.
Yeah, but
I mean, the spikes are so much lighter. And the Dragonflies are soft as well. So I just prefer it on the track.
yeah.
Right.
All right. Anyway, I've got excuses anyway.
Nice one.
Just to do.
No.
Yeah, all done.
Sometimes it happens, man.
The camera on, Lee?
Oh, yeah.
So you're in the A race, are you?
Yes, yeah.
Good. I saw a very good 3,000 you did at Kingston the other night. So,
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
So what, sort of sub 15 tonight, I think?
Should be. Yeah, I did a
Should be,
14:47 a couple of weeks ago.
Okay, yeah, it's a great night for it. If you can hang in, it's such a big pack. It feels like a road race for the drafting. So if you can get enough good pack, I think. I just couldn't hang on to it, but yeah. Oh, well, good luck anyway.
Thank you.
Cheers. Let's go!
That voice of encouragement.
Come on, Derek. Oh, Terry, quote for YouTube.
Shouldn't be running, to be honest, Tim.
Look a bit hobbly.